I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-Minute Convos, where I help you create a brand of your own unique real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Lakiesha Russel. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I'm doing really well. I can't complain.
Oh, that's great. Hey, that's one of my statements. I say to complain is to remain most times. It's the
Yes.
same, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what
Yes.
part of the world are you in right now, Lakeisha?
I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, sweet. Well, do please tell me which of your talents is responsible for us meeting?
Me being a therapist, so that communicator.
Ooh. This should be fun because it's all about communications, right? So,
Yes.
who did you learn that skill from? Tell me a bit more about how you communicate via your podcast, The Evolving Chair. And yeah, take it away.
Yes. Well, I feel like it's just always been ingrained in me. And it kind of has just developed. I've never been shy when I was younger. Like I had a microphone in my hand at 3 singing. So that actually was, I believe, my catalyst. Was music. I'm a music fanatic. I majored in music in high school. I teach music um, at my church over the children's choir. So that started it all with me being able to communicate with people was through song. And then just along the way, I loved working with people, in particular children and families. And that's where me being a therapist happened.
Oh, really? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. So, and tell me a bit more about The Evolving Chair.
Yes, so the evolving chair was definitely created as another space for me to talk about mental illness, mental health, mental wellness, and therapy, and how it really works and what it really looks like. Because I think, many of the times we have these preconceived notions in our head about, okay, if I'm going to see a therapist, I'm quote unquote crazy, because those are the extremes we see in movies. And I tell people many of the times that's not the case. Many of my clients are calling me because of life transitions. So whether it's them looking for a new job, a death in the family, a new baby, dealing with their children, so parenting, or dealing with each other, so couples, empty nesters. So it's not that traditional view of why you go to therapy as we see on TV.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
intriguing. Yeah. No, I'm sorry for taking so long to answer. I was actually thinking you're so correct. It's life, right? It's life occurring, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's fascinating. So, so is this fun for you? I know you said you held a mic in your hand from a tender age, but the therapist part, where did that kick in?
Well, I think I've always just fit that bill with my family. I'm the second oldest. I have an older brother, and I've just always been that nurturer and that one wanting to take care of people. So, even beyond being a mother, because I'm a mother of two, but just wanting to help people deal with their issues, to help them get to their next level, to be great in what they're doing or what they want to do. So it's just been the role that I've played in my family, which I still continue to play in my family. But
Yeah, we all know how that could be, right? That role where
yeah,
you're the stabilizing factor. Why will you continue to repeat that skill in the midst of all of that?
I think that's just something that's ingrained in us. Even us being as young as we may be, we all have those qualities that are forthcoming in who we are as an adult. And for me, it's just been always there, and of course I don't want to be a therapist in my private life, right? I want to be able to turn it off. But it's kind of hard not to, because if I call myself a communicator, I have to constantly communicate with every single person.
Yeah. It's like you being true to yourself in every situation, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, tell me one other thing you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
Something I've done consistently over the last 3 years. Ooh, I would say prayer. I pray daily, and that is something I've done consistently. Just having that conversation to God, just about giving me guidance and direction on what next move to make. What should I be saying? What should I be doing? So definitely prayer.
Hmm. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel so good. It's where I'm able to meditate as well. So when I'm feeling stressed and overwhelmed, that's part of my self care. It is just sitting in the presence of God in meditation and just praying to Him. And
Wow.
sometimes just sitting still so I can actually hear from Him too.
Hmm. I would suggest to someone out there, someone who may just be a practicing therapist as well, or who may just be that person who sits as the anchor in the family, why they should look to prayer.
Because it centers you. It honestly does. And many of the times, research shows when you find something spiritual to hold on to, you are more grounded and rooted in your life and your purpose and what you're called to do.
Hmm.
So I would encourage everybody.
Here we go. We are live, most definitely, with Lakiesha Russell of the Evolving Chair podcast, right? What's the best place for
Yeah.
us to go if we want to connect with what you're doing?
Yeah, so people can go to my website at www.theevolvingchair.com, on my Facebook page, The Evolving Chair, Instagram at The Evolving Chair, and on Twitter at The Evolving Chair without the R, which is purposeful because it was too many too many letters, so I couldn't put the R
Sweet.
in the Twitter handle.
Sweet. I love it. Yes, amazing audience. We're live with Lakiesha Russell of the Evolving Chair. Do check out Lakiesha. Let's switch gears for a moment and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Lakiesha, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Mm. I always replay me being in a classroom when I was like about maybe like 4 or 5, and sitting in a circle singing different songs because I had a teacher that played the guitar, and that memory is so vivid, and I think it probably has to do because I love music.
Yeah.
Music speaks to me. I just love music, so that is like my most vivid childhood memory.
Wow. So yes, you like music. So you're like 3 years old. You're in this classroom.
Mhm.
Music is playing. Other people are singing as well, right? Why do you think this
Mhm.
memory is so clear?
I, because it just reinforces that musical part of me, and just me loving to express myself in music. So depending on my mood, that I play my music depending on how I'm feeling. So like if when I do go work out and I need some like hype music, it's probably some more hip hop.
Yeah.
Um, Definitely when I'm more calmer and need to be refocused and de-stressed, it's definitely more spiritual and calming. So I think it just is just more vivid, that memory, because music is a part of who I am.
Wow. Wow. Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Yes.
I love the fact that your memory aligns with the power of the person that is in the room, which is the teacher that's playing the guitar, right? But that
Mhm.
that that he or she is doing something that is surrounding, grabbing the person's, like, well, you all as the students, right? Grabbing your attention,
Yes.
but creating a scenario where you can learn naturally. And it's like the evolving chair, right? Understanding
Yeah.
where your patient is, where your clients are, is so important for how you alter the rhythm of the music that's necessary to ensure that they learn.
Yes, exactly. I love that.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. If we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
Man, my favorite song as a little kid.
Yeah, like 12 years old. So 12 is what, 7th or 8th grade around there?
Yeah, 7th or 8th grade. So my parents were big on gospel. So we only listened to gospel songs. So anything by Yolanda Adams or CeCe Winans, like those were my favorite songs growing up. Anything by those two ladies.
Oh, do you remember one song? Like the name of one
Man,
of those songs?
the name of one of the songs. Shoot. Oh, The Battle Is Not Yours. I don't know if that's the title of it, but by Yolanda Adams. Yeah.
That's fascinating. Well, it all connects, right? I mean, it's definitely the scenario with the revolving chair, right? The battle is not yours, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Lakiesha, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. Lakiesha, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
I'm hoping my children. I have a son and a daughter. My son is 10 and my daughter is 9. So I'm hoping that them seeing me working with other children and families and just trying to help them get to their next level and be the great them that they're destined to be, that they will want to just take ownership in their community and just be a part of helping people.
Are you married?
I'm not yet.
All right. So you said you have 2 children. Do you believe in God?
I do.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes. A great support system. Like they are like my cheerleaders. Like they are the greatest.
What about TV? Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Not more than 3 hours a day. I usually don't have time between working my full-time 9 to 5 and doing my private practice and then podcasting and community events. I don't get to watch TV a lot. Wow. I have a few shows that I try to record though.
And what about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Are you doing more than 8 hours a day or less than 8 hours a day?
I would say more than 8 hours a day because I'm constantly in my emails, on websites. Yeah.
All right. Well, Lakiesha, after having 1,001 conversations in 3 months, I came up with a workbook that's called Yours and stands for your own unique real self, right? And connected to that is your own unique real stance, your own unique real statement. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, something that represents who you are, what would you say that is?
My own unique statement is why not me? And so that just stemmed out of me coming out of my fear of being like, I want a nationally syndicated talk show, or I want to be this great clinician, well-known, publishing books. Why not me? Why can't it be me? Why must I dim my light or my value?
I love it. Lakiesha Russel, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
That therapy is dope and therapy is great. Therapy is good.
Lakiesha Russel, this was such a great pleasure. Thank you so much for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.